Okay, so this may just be the first video I put up. It's raining like crazy as soon as I decided to film, but today I'm working on my mailbox. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show you guys. I haven't gotten to show you guys the start of it. Basically, I've done the frame, worked around. I'll give you guys a look. So I've put the legs together in the top mount. Basically, my plan is put a 90-degree along there, welded in. That all needs to be grinded down, but basically just one of these around it. That is 5x5 metal tubing around the edges, and using that, we'll be using this wood. Everything except for the metal on this is basically recycled, and the mailbox, I'll show you that in a second. But that will go on there like sort of like that. Oh, it's not gonna stay, but that will go in there, and then eventually the outside will be painted. They'll go all the way down with the mailbox in the middle, and it's 1.1 tall, so I can put legs at the bottom. I'll mount it on concrete blocks. The wood, I'll show you the mailbox. So this is the mailbox. That'll go in the middle with the wood on each side. Basically, I need to make a bracket for the back to hold the mailbox in on the back of here. I don't know how far, I think it's about 400 out the back. So I need to get some sort of brace to hold it in and make sure it's secure for good. Then we need to paint it. I'm thinking black for the outside. That's about it. We're using this welder here, stick welder, nothing special. Just have the tools on me, nothing much, everything you can do from home. This is all DIY. This is just metal from Bunnings, 5x5 tubing. I think I got 4 meters of metal of this, and then 2 meters of 2.5 of this. I mean, that's all I really need. I might need to figure out something for the bracing. I don't know if I have enough metal, but I can probably take something apart. Today I'm probably just putting this in, grinding it all down, seeing how it looks. Maybe put some wood in it to check how that looks. Not painting or anything today. It is pissing down. It is not a good day, and we'll see how we go. Alrighty, so just finished. Oh, well, I didn't finish, but both my batteries are flat. I grinded it sort of flush with that, and since that sort of sticks like maybe 5 mil above this, I don't know if you can see, but it sort of sticks up a bit. Anyway, I grind all that flat to about here. So, it's still hot, but surprisingly the 4 volt battery, 4 amp hour battery, sorry, did surprisingly more than the 5. I'm not sure why. Maybe it wasn't as charged as much, but they both said fully charged. They're both flat now. But yeah, that was interesting. Since we don't have any more battery for the grinder, we'll get to welding this side in. I have no real way of, unfortunately I don't have clamps, so I'll makeshift a way to sort of hold this piece of metal up on that, like that one, just to hold it on the middle there. I've just got this, I've got the 90-degree put on the frame. I'm going to use a welder, stick welder, nothing special. Tack it on, then we'll go over it again. There's a little gap that we have to fill in. I'll show you up close once I finish. I'll get all this done and then I'll bring these down. tapped. I'll just come down and show you guys. So I just put a few points along each side. That's to prevent the metal from warping on the face of it. That way you get some straight lines. There you go. Just a few tacks. Now with this welder, it likes to splatter quite a lot. So, and generally it's quite tough to get that weld started. So usually you have to just grind it along the edges a bit, just to heat the end up on the welder a bit, so that you can get a nice quick tap. Because if it sticks on, then it just heats up really hot, the rod, and it gets stuck on, and then you got to like rip it off. It gets pretty tricky sometimes. It can get pretty frustrating, but work with what we've got. Sometimes get little fractures in them, little cracks that go all the way through them, and then, I mean, the crack just doesn't hold because it's not connected. That's usually when it cools down too quick. So if it gets hot and then it cools down too quick, then the weld will crack. See, that one didn't actually connect, so I'll redo that one first before I go into the other one. As you guys can see now, the rod in the welder got stuck because it wasn't, oh well, sometimes it connects, and it just started getting red hot, and I just had to pull it straight out. Otherwise it keeps getting hotter, more current goes through, and all shit goes down. To get it off, so just smack it off with a hammer or just whack it. Doesn't really matter. I don't even know where that one's going. Just got to make sure they don't fly out because they're really hot. You just want to know where they go so they don't melt stuff like I may have just done. There's that rod, red hot. I think because, I don't know, I think this rod's just fucked. Mind my language. So this makes me quite happy when I see it's called slag when on top of the weld, when the stuff that you hit off, sometimes it turns into pieces, big chunks like this, and it just flakes off. And that's usually how you know, or you can tell that you've done a good weld. So I can officially say they are getting better. Other than that, and then now this. Alrighty, so I've, well, basically done for today. I've just got that, and got a few little holes to touch up like that, but this thing is never coming apart. I got some good welds all the way along. You can definitely see that splatter all the way up, and I mean, those welds compared to these are definitely improving. That's with all the slag off, everything's sort of nice and neat. We'll see how a few of these pieces of wood fit. Now it should be 600 across, I don't know, because of the splatter and that. It might not fit as well, it might be too tight, but yeah, so I'm just a few mil off. I'm gonna put the camera down and try and fit this in, and I'll get a video of it. Yeah, after quite a lot of struggle, I finally got this ready. So that's how it'll sit, all the way down to the end of those, and the mailbox will sit in the middle. Oh, I won't get it because it's got nothing. So I think the next thing would be making a brace for that mailbox so that it sits probably about here, probably 4 or 5 of these, probably 4 down. Put it there, sort of just above the middle. That way it's an alright height. There's a wrap to, I'm going to say, part 1 of the mailbox. Next video, we'll probably paint the outside. We need to cut all this wood. I've got a heap of wood out there, so we'll cut all that to length, stain it. We'll go through it all. Paint this black to prevent rust from on the welds. We need to grind down the rest of the welds on these. Also make the mount for the actual mailbox to let it sit right about where this piece of wood is. That should sit pretty well, I think. I hope. I don't know how I'm going to make the mount yet, but we'll figure that out. We might need a part 3 for actually putting this thing in the ground, putting the concrete in, making the mount for it to sit in, to make sure it's sturdy and won't just fall over, make sure it can handle the heat. These welds aren't going anywhere, hopefully the mailbox won't go anywhere. Also, if you guys want to see more stuff like the finish of this mailbox, I think I'm gonna, after that, make a workbench for along here maybe, weld all that up. Otherwise, other content like my kayak, I need to work on it, fix the rudder, put a cable through. If you just want to see that, put a full run through of my kayak. If you just want to see more fishing, I can put more fishing. We'll go fishing more often. Hopefully, this weather will die down and it'll dry up a bit, get a bit warmer, nicer for fishing. Otherwise, that's a wrap for this one, and we'll be back for the rest of the mailbox.